Okay. I would like to praise Mitch, Gideon, Nate, Edu, Juan Catam for today's discussion around the TC Steward transformation proposal and the actual state of status of comms. Um, praise Tam for the work she did with the TC Stewardship transformation proposal. Praise Nate for his help and feedback with the status of comms working group. Praise GDM for because he's doing an amazing leading in Sampo, and we are going to make a Sampo and comms collaboration. So stay tuned. Praise to NT because his wonderful help in comms, and that's it. I'll pass it to Juanca.
Thank you, Sid Laser. Well, I would like to praise Livy, Tam, Septi, Nate, Gideon, and Edu for being stewards in the TC and being engaging in this super interesting discussion about the transformation and transition of the stewardship. I would also like to praise the General Magic team. I think it's really cool the dashboard they made for Tau voting. Right now that we will be helping also Aragon to choose their Tau voting params. And I want to praise Acid Laser because his working comms is really great. And I also want to praise Bianca and Anna for launching the mental health survey for Gravity. So yeah, and I will pass it to Livy.
Thanks, Juanca. I want to praise Pedro for his work with the LTF Refi Bootcamp. They're creating an amazing environment for token engineering discussions and collaborations. Praise Gideon for leading the curated registry initiative. It's going to be huge to our capacity to organize, focus, and engage. Praise Acid Laser for taking a smooth leadership in the comms working group and sharing a proposal for the shift they're having. Praise Nate for his genuine care to the TEC. I could point so many concrete contributions he's been making, but I want to give extra appreciation to the way he navigates the community and brings grounded, safe, reliable qualities which impact us in such a positive way. I want to praise Zapdos, Mitch, Christopher, Nuggin for their care and consistent support to our reward system. Praise Tam for articulating a proposal for the future of stewardship in the TC. It was a very thought out and I believe will bring really positive change to our organizational structure. I feel like I went over a minute already, but I didn't hear the bell. So I'll pass to Mitch.
Yeah, thanks, Livy. I'd like to praise Christopher and myself for manually going through the praise IDs and the source credit IDs and doing all that merging and madness piece by piece. Nuggin for all of the magic and producing the final script for sending out source credit rewards. I would like to praise Tam for putting together that proposal for the new steward system. Maxwell and Phil for great feedback as quantifiers. Christopher for writing up the draft for the new RAD tool system design. And Christopher, Nate, and Rex for great off-the-cuff discussions yesterday in the rewards working group call. And there's a couple more on the channel, but I will pass it to Miguel.
Hi. My praise goes to Acid Laser for guiding me into this call. I'm kind of new here, so I'm just looking in what I can help and yeah, praise to all. And I'll pass to Richa.
Thanks. I'd like to praise Gideon for pushing forward the content curation service, and I'd like to praise Nate for working on the Treasury policy document. I'd like to pass it to Tam.
Thanks. I'd like to praise ACID for putting together the state of comms and making some recommendations for course corrections in that area. I'd like to praise Gideon and Nate so much for the support for the Stewards transformation. And I'd like to praise all of the stewards who participated in the Stewards Council today. The advice and feedback was so good. So Juanca, Edusep, Gideon, Mitch, Nate, Livia, and Acid. I'd like to praise Irem because I keep hearing so many great things about you. And I just want to say that there's just a lot of people saying how great you are. I'd like to praise Eduardo for bringing so much wise counsel. When I look back at the past few weeks, I realize that you've really been a rock for me. I'd like to praise Zep, Vitor, Marco, and anyone I'm forgetting for the Aragon Gallery. And I'll pass to Costa. You just joined. Are you ready to catch?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you. I'd like to praise Edu for his orientation call. I'd like to praise Roro, Jimsta888, and the Definery for attending the orientation call. And I'd like to praise Richa for her work on the token holder channel post. And I don't know who hasn't gone, so I'll leave it in the air.
You roll the dice. I'll pass it over to Arujo. Roger.
To me?
Yes. How do you pronounce it?
Okay. I'd like to praise about all the Gravity team. I think we are working really good. I'd like to praise all the things that are happening to me right now. I'd like to praise about my next. I'm going to be part of the next hackathon of Ethereum Mexico. So wish me luck. I think that's it.
Would you like to pass it?
Sorry, I forget it.
Okay.
Let me check. I'm going to paste it to Juan.
I already did, but
pass it to Zepti.
Thanks, Nate. Yeah, I wanted this praise to Mitch for supporting technically everyone in the reward board. Wanted this praise to Nagen for setting up the weekly votes and the forum post for the rewards distribution. I wanted this praise to Livy and Nate for keeping the community grounded. Wanted this praise to Juanca and Nagen for stepping in to host param parties on the Aragon DAO. And wanted this praise to Mateo for starting development on the ABC advanced stage. And I'll pass it to Gideon.
Thanks, Septi. I want to praise Tam for the really excellent work that she's doing in rethinking stewardship and the future of the TEC. I want to praise Edu for getting the TEC early access to OtterSpace. It's really cool. I want to praise Acid Laser for his leadership in transforming our comms strategy and the comms team. Praise to Juanca and Zepti for the work they're doing in bringing the TEC's expertise to Aragon. That's so cool. Praise to Risha for her excellent work in pulling together the first content on the token holder channel. And I want to praise Shahan from DAOstack for just the excitement and leadership that he's showing in working with the TEC on this content curation service. Super exciting. I think I have to pass it back to you, Nate, because I'm not sure who's left.
I think I'm the last one. If not, then speak up now. But yeah, I want to praise Acid Laser for really taking on comms and really reimagining the way it's going to look. I want to praise Tam for just the incredible work of stewardship transformation. I think it's really beautiful what you've done and through the advice process, and it's a great example. I want to praise Mitch for all the work you've been doing in the reward system. Really just consistently getting that out and organized is really impressive. I want to praise Zepti for the constant keeping all of us accountable for what we're doing here in the TEC. You've done a really great job in doing that, and I really appreciate you. I want to praise Gideon for all the work you've been doing in Sampo, really building that up. And then I want to praise Livia for all the just general approach. Yep. And that is it. So right now, that is everybody, but we're going to do what we do each time, and that is turn on your video and say cheese. If you get a chance, we're going to 5 seconds. We're going to say hi to everybody and get this photo. All right. 3, 2, 1, and boom. Okay. So, starting off with our vision. Our vision here in the TEC is to enable the creation of ethical, safe, resilient, and diverse economic systems to benefit societies around the world. With that being said, we want to keep this community nice and lovey-dovey and make it strong. So anything that you see in terms of the social fabric, people getting somebody's name wrong, conflict in terms of direction, purpose, any type of conflict that you might witness, big or small, we do have this conflict management survey by Gravity, which is really helpful in terms of mitigating those issues before they happen. So be sure to call it when you see it. So get Gravity involved, get them some practice, get them some reps. Let's keep this community strong. Let's see. Yep. And apologies. Also, the advice process. Happens for everybody. Making decisions in these types of communities are very difficult sometimes. So before making big decisions, discuss them with the people who are affected by the decisions and experts on the topic. We do have a fully articulated advice process. If you're unfamiliar with it, people like Livia are really great people to talk to about it. We have our forum, we have Discord, we have Snapshot, we have our garden. So keep that in mind whenever you're making decisions. Always kind of go through this process. Rock the vote. So currently in our gardens, we have 3 proposals up. We have our translations team funding adjustment. We have our comms team DAO support for TEA team. And we have our new one, which is a top up for the reward system. So this one is for topping up for praise distribution for the TEC tokens. And then we have our translations team funding and, of course, the Token Engineering Academy team. So if you're a token holder, you have not voted, please do so. If you do not like any of these, you can also place these on abstain. But be a responsible token owner. Go rock the vote. Let's see here. With that being said, we're going to start off with the Community Stewards update. I will take on this one. Our weekly sync starts on Wednesdays, 1 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CET. In the Community Stewards call, we have several calls each week. We have our Stewards Weekly every Tuesday, Sprint Planning and Sprint Retrospective every other Friday and Thursday, and then our Stewards Council every other Thursday. All these calls are open to the community, and you're more than welcome to join. We also have our Sprint 39, our sprint board here. We actually passed on this sprint this week. We're reorganizing the stewardship, and therefore we may be going through this very soon to reorganize ourselves. So with that being said, what's on our mind this week? So the Stewards Council, we went this morning. We talked about steward transformation process. Talked about issues of decentralization and accountability. We're planning on adjusting it, and so Tam will have a forum post soon that will further explore these dynamics between stewardship and the TEC. So I encourage everybody to engage with that post. We also have our Stewards Weekly. During that Stewards Weekly, we went through our Polis working group feedback. If you get a chance, this link will take you to our Polis, and it will allow you to explore different questions of TEC as a TEC stakeholder, just to get some updates on how we're doing in our working groups, what we can do to improve, and what kind of information we can derive from that Polis. Also, we're exploring the idea of a Filecoin Foundation grant, which is really interesting. And then we have DevCon coming up. So if you're going into DevCon, let it be known, and we'll see if we can organize TEC presence there. Public service announcement. This one is something that we don't really pay attention to as much. We don't emphasize each week. But if I know that a lot of people's Twitters, you have your own persona, your own personality, and that's fine. But if you get a chance to really promote the TEC or the Token Engineering Academy through your Twitter, it's really beneficial. It really gives exposure and gives people an idea of where we are heading and where we're going. So please do get involved with the Twitter aspect of it. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Gravity Working Group and Wonka.
Thank you, Nate. Hello, everyone. Well, some of the updates of the Gravity Working Group is that we finalized the third Graviton training, and that we have 25 new Gravitons that will be announced soon with a special POAP. I remember to everyone that Gravitons are people who is basically trained in skills to manage conflict. That is something normal in these kind of organizations, and that this training is open to multiple communities, trying to have a better environment for managing conflict in DAOs and in the Web3 space. And we have several calls during the week. On Mondays, Bianca and Anna are leading a research on psychology and well-being. And if you haven't filled our survey, I will be sending this link to the chat of this call, so that it will take you 5 to 10 minutes. But the idea is to have an overview of the mental health and the individual psychology of the participants of DAOs, and to find some key actions that we can promote and continue looking for the well-being of people that participate in these kind of projects. On Tuesdays, we normally had the Graviton training, but we are planning to have a Graviton get-together that will be announced with the list of Gravitons to talk and share between the three cohorts of Gravitons that we have. And it's people who, it's trained on the most basic skills to facilitate communication and to deal with conflict. And on Thursdays, this 18th, we will have a session on the Refi Bootcamp, so everyone is invited. And on Fridays, we have the second proposal drafting call that happens at 5 p.m. CET, and we have a website narrative and design at 8 p.m. CET. We are thinking on posting a second proposal to the TEC maybe in September. We use ZenHub to keep the registry of our cases and DWork to coordinate bounties. Please, if you experience any kind of conflict, request support managing conflict through our Typeform. Really, lately we haven't received so many inputs to the Typeform, so don't be shy to filling it. We will give a first approach and try to help you with any conflictive situation that you may be experiencing in your life or in the DAO experience. And also we are now having our Gitcoin grant, and we also have a Give It project, so you can donate directly to us if you like and you support what we're doing. As the meme, we try to be effective in managing conflict. And the slide that Nate was showing is the list of Gravitons from the first and second generation. We have the names, and the third generation is coming soon. We will be delivering a special POAP to these 25 new Gravitons. With that, I will be passing the mic to Softcop and Livy.
Thank you, Wonka. So, in SovGov, we meet every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Europe time, and we talk about culture, governance, what is the direction we're doing, are we aligned with our mission, and in the past 2 weeks, so in the past week, just now we discussed the TEC token holder sentiment analysis. So how can we communicate more with token holders? We felt like we were a little bit siloed within Stewards, having more awareness of what is happening in all of the instances of the TEC. And it would be important to get a signal from how the larger community is feeling and create more opportunities for engagement. So I had created a poll, but I think it wasn't so good for what we needed. Tim had the suggestion to give more of a thought of what we really wanted from it. So this week we separated, we understood in what topics we wanted to get feedback and separated into financial, organizational, narrative, and relational. And then within those topics, certain things that would be important to know. And then we started to adding statements to each one of them. This is going to be a work in progress until next SoftGov call, which we will have the final poll list and then distribute to the whole community. And last week, we just had a moment to look into this mural board. I'm going back to some documents that we had in the beginning of the TEC to just understand the direction we've been taking. And this was the first vision exercise we had with the token engineering community. And this was, just a question of what would be a great proposal for the TEC to fund. And I think it's worth taking a minute just going through them because it's important for all of us to understand, when the TEC was conceived, kind of what were the needs of the token engineering community. So there was a lot in the education realm and a lot of the R&D and tech realm. And some of them, I think, are things that are possible even for us to work on right now if collaborators feel like jumping in, like video tutorials, for example. What type of content could we transform into video? How could we talk to different token engineering projects to see what knowledge could be disseminated and promote something like this? Then having simple use cases, easy to digest models, use cases, what models have been working in different projects. So there was the partnership with the Tokenomics DAO that was really slow, but maybe there's other ways we can engage in something like this. And interdisciplinary events, dynamic game seminar, materials publication. So I think there's a lot in the education realm that could be explored. That is something that Academy isn't doing, but more like in the promoting side, how could we help promoting materials that already exist? And in R&D and tech, like creating CAD package manager, curated list of smart contracts, and modeling needs of trusted projects, security audited implementation of the contracts, create simulation standardization, modeling of different funding mechanisms, modeling and data science work on community inclusive currency network. So I think it's interesting, a lot of things for us to think about on things we can collaborate on and that people could jump into to contribute. And with that, I'll pass to Edu with Communitas.
I'll be taking it. Thank you.
Thank you, Costa.
First, the Communitas Working Group Sync call is now bi-weekly until September, as also are the orientation calls. They happen this week, so they will be happening again in 2 weeks. Then you can check Edu's proposal on the forum for a redefinition of a TC member. Any feedback is welcome. Then on our next working group call, LBS will be giving a workshop of nonverbal communication. That is, for example, when you're in a call and want to show agreement without having to interrupt the speaker. Everyone is invited to join. It will be happening on the 22nd at 8 p.m. CET on our channel. And just to mention that on our last call, we had more women than men for the first time. We're happy about that. And I'll pass it to Gideon with Sampo.
Thanks, Costa. So I'm gonna share my screen for this first. First, Sampo. What is Sampo? I think everybody here knows, but there's a few new people. Sampo is basically the working group that's focused on economic development for the commons, right? So how we build our microeconomy. So and we meet in the hour slot right before this call. We do it every week. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is I'm actually going to share my screen to show our the new token gate. Can everybody see? Can you see my screen at this point? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you go into the TEC Discord and you just scroll down past the community section, right below that, there's a new category that's called TEC token holders. So I'm sharing the link to this thing that's called token invite. So you can go directly to that. We are still testing this out. We've found a couple little issues like on mobile, but it should work for most people. If you are a steward and you have admin rights to the Discord, this is going to look a little bit different from what most people are going to see. But basically what you're going to see is you click on this and you're going to get this little invite. It's basically a bot that is part of Guild XYZ's service. And when you do that, it'll walk you through. It'll check to see whether you have TEC tokens in your wallet. And I shouldn't say tokens because it's actually token. We're just basically going with one TEC token as the requirement for being able to get access. Once you get access, once that's confirmed, this channel here, the token holder updates channel, will show up. You'll see that there's nothing in that right now. Risha and I are working. Actually, Risha's writing it, and I've been providing some feedback, and we're hoping to get some of the first updates in there probably by the end of this weekend, if not before. The kinds of content that's going to go in there is basically just the kinds of content that we think token holders will find informative. I'm going to stop streaming, and then I'm going to stream this, which is a look at this is the Guild XYZ. You can see the administrative interface here. So these are the people who've actually signed up and validated themselves, their TEC token holdings. You can basically go in and you can edit this. It allows you to do lots of sophisticated, if we want down the road, we can do, we can even do like NFTs for membership, combine those with the TEC token. There's lots of different things we can do, but as you can see right now, it's basically just one TEC token is what the gate is, the token gate. The kinds of content that will go up in there is going to be basically just kind of like updates on what's happening with TEC spending, TEC finances, what's happening with the working groups. It's basically like if you're a token holder, what would you care about? And we're going to try to keep it super short. Like this is going to be very concise stuff. We're assuming people are busy, so we're just trying to give them very concise updates on what's happening in the community. The next thing I want to highlight is this pretty amazing document that Nate pulled together, which is this treasury policy. And that was up in the forum this past week. It's now moved over into Snapshot for a vote, so I would encourage you to please take a look at this. And decide whether this is something you want to support. I'm going to put the link in here so you can go directly to this. The next steps, assuming that this passes, will be for Nate to then put together like basically the first strategy. And the idea is like what you'll see in that proposal is fairly complex. You can see that this guy has gone through and taken like a very detailed look at all of, like the various options that we have. And now the issue right now is that we have limited capacity as a DAO right now, so we have to keep things very simple. So the first steps are not going to go into this kind of this level of detail or complexity, but he wanted to actually lay out like the range of possibilities that we're going to have in the future and what we can eventually get to. But to start with, it'll be very simple. And so that will be that proposal for the strategy will be coming up in the next couple weeks. But right now, please go and take a look at this proposal and give it a vote. Last thing that I want to talk about is this content curation service that is a joint venture that we have going with the DAOstack folks. And this is actually the most exciting project I think that we've got going in Sampo right now. The basic idea, for all the people who have heard this, please forgive me. So I'm going to repeat myself, I guess. But basically, if you think about content coming into the TEC Discord server, people will be able to post links and just regular posts over here. Let's say this is Discord. Other people will be able to come in and interact with those posts via emojis. And there'll be kind of like this middleware that will be, or like a administrative interface where people will be able to come in and just like the heads of working groups or whoever has been designated by a working group can come in and set the curation rules for a particular channel within the TEC Discord. So you could say like, oh, I only want to show content that has 3 hearts or 4 hearts, or where it's gotten this many thumbs up, and it's also been given a thumbs up by a curator role. Lots of different flexibility in that, and then the output of that will be basically the greatest hits for that channel, the stuff that has been filtered and then shows up in basically what's going to be an Airtable. So there'll be basically the way for people to come in, post stuff, interact with it, and then use that as a way to collaboratively as a community highlight the most interesting stuff. And then what we do with that, basically there are 3 use cases that we're targeting right now. The first one is that we're working with Acid Laser and the comms team to be able to use the kind of the greatest hits from the community as new source material for the comms team to use in our tweets. They'll get really interesting tweets, and to be able to acknowledge the people coming in and giving us that content to try to get some more feedback and engagement on Twitter. We'll take the greatest hits and put that into a new channel in the token holders category on our Discord as a way to kind of boost utility for the TEC token, because you would need to own at least 1 TEC token in this initial experimental phase. And then the last thing would be that this same tool will try to make this available to all the working groups so that every working group can actually use this tool as a way to do their own curation in their channels on whatever the topic is that they're interested in. So I'll stop there, and I am going to pass it to Omega. I'm not sure who is here for Omega, so Nate, maybe can I pass it back to you?
Yeah, of course. And if there's anybody who's more privy to the Omega working group and what's been going on, if not, I can go over it right now. They have the TE Ethics Participatory Research First Focus Group on TEC Value System. I think they've gone through that, and the next one will be the private profit versus common benefit. So if you're interested in the TE Ethics Participatory Research, Sebnum on our Discord is a very good person to reach out to participate in that. Of course, they have the TE Consilience Library, which they are going through right now with the spec session here. So if you get a chance to read up on what the Consilience Library is intended to do, it's a kind of a TE library of resources, educational academic resources. And next working group call, 3rd of July, 8 p.m. CET. With that being said, we'll pass it over to Acid Laser, Comms Working Group.
Thank you, Nate. So we meet every Mondays for the team syncs. We're going to pause the Monday syncs to bi-weekly while we resolve something in the working group. And we have the normal comms call in Tuesdays. So in this presentation, you can see there's a document called State of Comms. That's the one I presented today with all the stewards about the situation of comms and what things we can do to resolve some things and maybe make some transformations for resolve many aspects and have a better organization and all this stuff. So this is looking good, and we will inform you what's next in the couple of weeks. So actualizations for the teams. The TEC will have upcoming changes while their proposal is not passing. In animation with the production team, we are working on the quantifier tutorial final animation. We are making the final rigging of the main character and doing the art and that stuff. In marketing team, Manu and NT are working on the new newsletter. The number 6 is coming up. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, you can do it in our website in the bottom of it. In translations, also we're in pause there because there are upcoming changes too, because of the proposal. And on Twitter, the TC stars are rocking our engagement. They are looking pretty good. This week's star was Michael Sargent. So if you want to check it out and give some retweet, go to our Twitter and remember, quote, love. And also, we need drafters. I want to come back with the TE Tuesdays as the token engineering Tuesday. So if you want to drop some token engineering concepts, tweets, some stuff like this, some more technical topics for our Twitter, feel free to catch me up and we can make some things to do these tweets and that's it. With that, I'll pass it to transparency. Thank you.
Thanks, Acid Laser. Let me share my screen real quick. On transparency, we meet every Monday. Every other Monday on 5 p.m. CT. Have been working, collaborating with General Magic. This dashboard is actually done. It's complete. The only thing missing here is getting a meeting with Sam, Lee, and Victor to set up the governance thing for token law. Like, probably they're going to go weighted voting, but still, like, it's Aragon's decision, and we need to get on a meeting with them so we can just get this finalized. And then Juanca and Nagen will be hosting parties on the Aragon server. And this is updates for the Aragon. Advanced page, this is going to work. Mateo started working on it last week. There is like development advancement, but it's nothing like to share in here, but Mateo is working on it. Regarding the audit is complete. The only thing missing is the design. So like all the content is here. Please check it out, read it. It's very cool. The first thing you can see is the treasury decreased 27% in the last, comparing to the first audit to this one. This one is only including until June. And if we also see how decrease everything, like reward system, reward board, it's normal. Like they were distributing the TC, also the TC price go down, laser tag, then the common pool. And down at 14%. There's a lot of data in this audit, so check it out. And then also Sampo was asking for a a chart to show the prices. It's still work in progress. It's like it's not cute right now, but Rex is working on having to see in Dune how every working group is spending in a monthly basis, so we can see like who's spending what every month just in the blockchain, and it's updated every day, so we can see all this information updated in a real time. So that's Sampo needs, so we covering them, and that's it for transparency. I'll pass it to Mitch for rewards.
Thanks, Zap. So this is the rewards working group. We normally have our meetings every week on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central European. But I have some updates. So I guess we'll just go in order from the top. Rewards for the first part of June are out. There's the forum post and the RAD analysis all linked in this slide. And importantly, included in that is the first source cred rewards distribution. And so that was a ton of work between myself and Nuggin and Christopher trying to get all these different data and hacking together some sort of Frankenstein script from JavaScript and Python. And it was all sort of messy, but we did it and it's done. So maybe I'll just tell you quickly how this was done. We decided to create just like a bulk amount of rewards that would be given for all of the source cred contributions. So that's what contributors have done since the beginning of time, aka March 2021, on GitHub and the forum. And so we took those source cred scores, we assigned them a share percentage, and then they have like a bulk amount of rewards that they're going to get. And then we're going to vest 10% of those rewards over the next 10 rounds. So 20 weeks from now, we will be done the source cred distribution, and we will no longer be using source cred data at all because it is a royal pain in the ass to use. But it's good. On another note there, the rewards distributions and quantifications will be pausing until mid-September. Nuggin, myself, Christopher, and Zeb are all going to be on vacation. So that's the majority of the decision-making power in the reward system and the reward board. So we're just going to take a break, and then we'll do a big catch-up once we come back. And as well, the next rewards working group call is postponed until August 31st. For the reasons stated above. And the funding proposal, go back to the slide, Nate. Thanks. The funding proposal is up in the gardens. And so this is asking for 20K in wrapped XDAI from the common pool to top up the rewards distributions. This amount is going to be converted to TEC on the augmented bonding curve. And then we'll use it to distribute rewards in the same manner that we've been doing it thus far, primarily through praise. Next thing on there, radical overhaul. So Christopher's been working on a pretty big spec for updating the system design for RAD going forward, and potentially using the proposal inverter to pilot the RAD development funding. So that'll be a really cool cross partnership. If you go to the next slide there, Nate, that's just a little clip there from what Christopher's been working on, trying to get this whole new system together. So essentially establishing like an open source repository of plugins that people can use to establish data streams from anything they want. So this allows like external builders to come in, build plugins that go into a singular RAD tool. And then the RAD tool uses that to pump out reports for analysis, and then also distribution lists. So it's pretty cool. It's all very like ethereal right now, but it's a really cool spec and future for RAD. And back to the last slide there. Yeah. And then just the last thing there, PSA, to activate your Praise account if you want to get rewards. So please do that. We're going to be doing a retroactive distribution for everybody who didn't activate but has activated thus since and missed out on some rewards. So we'll probably get that going when everybody's back from vacation around mid-September. So that's it. I'll pass it on to Token Engineering Academy.
Yep. Since I don't think Patty or Angie is in here right now, I can go over it real quick. TE Academy celebrated their birthday. They have the upcoming events: T360, Eleanor Ostrom, Introduction to Token Engineering. That is tomorrow. And CAD study group, which has already happened. But the TE fundamentals is the important thing. This is something that's going to be released to the study groups first. So if you were enlisted in the Token Engineering Academy, if you will it'll be beneficial to you to join a study group because you'll get first access to the TE fundamentals course. And then later on in October, it will be open to everyone. The pre-sign up form is here, so if you get a chance, go and sign it up for the TE Academy fundamentals course. Outside of that, it's really exciting. They've put a lot of work into developing this. Here are some of the study groups that they have available. A lot of them are in different languages and different regions. So, you get to study with people who speak the language, your native language, which is really awesome. If you don't see a group there for you within TE Academy server, please get in touch with Angela. She will help you host your own study group. That is it for community call. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.